Hello, good evening and welcome. You're watching the Monday edition of Blueprint Explosive Exclusive, and on this edition of Blueprint Explosive Exclusive, we're going to get you what's happening in the state of Bengal. It's yet another setback for West Bengal government in the Sandeshkhali case. The Supreme Court has in fact dismissed the plea that was filed by the West Bengal government challenging the Calcutta High Court's order directing a CBI investigation into the allegations of the crimes against women and land grabbing in Sandeshkhali. Before pronouncing the verdict, the court made some scathing statements, pulling up the state government and putting it in the dock. The Supreme Court asked the West Bengal government as to why the state should come in as a petitioner for protecting the interest of some individuals and private individuals. In its plea before the apex court, the state government said that the High Court's order had demoralized the entire state machinery, including the police force. The BJP now is claiming vindication.
ये इन्वेस्टिगेशन सीबीआई को नहीं करनी चाहिए और कलकत्ता हाई कोर्ट के ऑर्डर की अवहेलना की, तो इसी पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो है वो उनकी याचिका को खारिज कर दिया और कहा कि इतनी सारी एफआईआर जब स्टेट ने खुद दर्ज की है, इसका मतलब जरूर वहां कुछ हुआ है और इन्वेस्टिगेशन इन प्रोसेस है, तो इन्वेस्टिगेशन सीबीआई ही करेगा.
Now, the Calcutta High Court had earlier directed that the case should be handed to the CBI over, and this is the case they're talking about, was the attack on ED officials in Sandeshkhali, and also sought the custody of suspended TMC leader Sheikh Shahjahan. They also went ahead and slammed the Mamata Banerjee government for protecting the accused. Sheikh Shahjahan was eventually suspended by the TMC, and he also faces charges of criminal conspiracy and attempt to murder, among others. Now, Trinamool Congress, however, is still defending its decision to approach the Supreme Court of India and has also dismissed the entire controversy as one that was concocted by the Bharatiya Janata Party for political benefits. In fact, they are also questioning the neutrality of the CBI investigation.
ममता दीदी की संवेदना उन हिंदू महिलाओं के साथ नहीं है जिनका बलात्कार हुआ. मां माटी मानुष नहीं है. बम ब्लास्ट बचाओ, बलात्कारी बचाओ, भ्रष्टाचारी बचाओ बन चुका है और ये उनकी मानसिकता बन चुकी है. प्रियंका वाड्रा, अब तो संदेशखाली के लिए कुछ बोलिए. राहुल गांधी जी, क्या आप संदेशखाली जाएंगे और वहां की महिलाओं के साथ उनके साथ संवेदना प्रकट करेंगे? पश्चिम बंगाल की सरकार पर सवाल उठाएंगे?
Politically, the Sandeshkhali case has no importance or interest among the public of West Bengal. It was done before the election, highlighted before the election by BJP party. The election has done, the people has mandated against those rumors and those conspiracies.
Our main fear is this, that CBI, which has lost all its credibility and has now turned into a shakha of the BJP, will it do this inquiry unbiased? Will it be fair? Or will it, as usual, turn a blind eye towards BJP and its minions and they will all go scot-free?
When smuggling is taking place, when land grabbing is there, when organized crime is there, when the women folks are being manhandled, and when people protested, Mamata Banerjee, instead of, and our police, instead of arresting the culprits, they wanted to protect. The Supreme Court, as the right thing, let there be inquiry.
Charu Pragya of the Bharatiya Janata Party and Riju Dutta, national spokesperson of the TMC, are joining us this evening. Riju, your party has been on a warpath of sorts with some judges of the Calcutta High Court. Even when the Sandeshkhali case, when it went to the High Court, there were some comments made. But today it's the Supreme Court which is asking you, why is the state interested in protecting an individual? And the plea that was filed has also been dismissed. So what do you have to say to the Supreme Court now?
We have nothing to say to the Honorable Supreme Court. Supreme Court has given a verdict in all its wisdom, but our contention is different. See, BJP concocted a story of Sandeshkhali where they used the dignity of the women of Sandeshkhali. They sold it for 2,000 rupees for mere political mileage and to malign Bengal nationally. What was the result? They lost in Sandeshkhali, they lost in Bengal because people did not buy their gimmick and this cheap stunt. My question is this, that CBI probe is ordered by... CBI.
Charu, let him complete and then you come in. Let him just complete. Let him finish.
CBI probe was ordered by the Honorable Calcutta High Court. We went against this order. Why? Because CBI in West Bengal and after 2014 has lost all its credibility. They are biased, they are unfair. That is why in several other cases they have been rebuked by the Honorable Calcutta High Court itself. So we fear that in this CBI investigation, all they are going to do is political vendetta, and all the BJP's minions who are involved in this dirty act will go scot-free. And that is why we challenge that decision.
No, but do you accept the Supreme Court? Do you accept the Supreme Court's verdict today? Because if you are making all these kind of assertions, why would the Supreme Court of India, in all its wisdom, dismiss the challenge that you had in fact gone ahead with before the judges of the Supreme Court?
Look, it is our constitutional right. It is the constitutional right of every political party to approach the highest court of the law. Highest court of the land. We have approved the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court in all its wisdom given the verdict. But I am saying on record why we challenge this decision. Number one, it was a concocted fake story. Number two, CBI is biased and unfair. They let...
Okay, Riju, let Charu come in. Charu, despite that setback that's coming from the Supreme Court, the Trinamool Congress has gone on to say that the CBI is unfair, the CBI is biased, and this was a case that was concocted. Your response?
Good evening, Sagarika. Now, unfortunately, the TMC spokesperson is only talking about the Supreme Court allowing the CBI to continue the probe. It was actually the Calcutta High Court which asked CBI to probe in the first place. And the fact is, only after the CBI probe was ordered, Sheikh Shahjahan was arrested, he was given a hero's welcome. Nobody has forgotten that, and that too after 24 long hours. Today, the Supreme Court has observed that why is the state government hell-bent on protecting one individual with such heinous charges against him? Why not get it investigated? And if you're not allowing the investigation to go on, what is it that you are hiding? I thank the Supreme Court for this judgment today. In fact, I think this is a victory for the women of Sandeshkhali, because whatever the TMC might be saying today, it was not just the BJP which took up the mantle for these women. It was CPIM, it was the Congress, as well as civil society, as well as journalists, all around. So even today, if the TMC government is protecting one culprit, and there were three main accused here, let's remember that. There was a Shibu Hazra, there was the Uttam Sardar and Sheikh Shahjahan. The other two were put behind bars. And one was protected to such an extent that even when he entered the police station, I think we should just be grateful that Mamata Didi's goons were not garlanding him. That is the situation to which this entire case has fallen to. It is about the land grabbing case. It is about selective sexual assault and exploitation of young girls, of women in Sandeshkhali. And if there was not this media outrage and spotlight on Sandeshkhali today, the same thing would have continued to happen in West Bengal. It's like the Talibization of West
Riju.
Bengal. It's not just one case.
Riju Dutta, Charu, yes, exactly. Riju Dutta, you must admit today, it's not just one court. The High Court of Calcutta, the Supreme Court of India, they are asking you one question for which you're not giving an answer. Why is the entire state coming in to protect one individual? What is this obsession with this one person? And we are not asking this question. The Supreme Court of India is asking this question.
I will tell you this on record. First, I will give a point-by-point answer to BJP and for all your viewers, and then I have a question to ask of Times Now.
And then you also respond to the question that the Supreme Court has asked.
I'm answering. Sheikh Shahjahan, after 52 days, when CBI could not arrest him, was arrested by Bengal police. He was thrown out of our political party for 6 years. Secondly, in Sandeshkhali, if what BJP cooked, the sexual charges, this molestation, there is only one sexual molestation case that was registered under 164 in front of a magistrate. You know who? That was Rekha Patra, the BJP candidate. Nobody else. 4th June, the results of the Lok Sabha polls have come out. Times Now took up the mantle for this Sandeshkhali incident. After 4th of June, have you seen any woman come out in front of Times Now or any media, national or state, saying that we are being beaten up or we are being molested? No.
Okay.
Why? Because it was a concocted story before the election. Now let me give you numbers. In Sandeshkhali, where this happened, which went to polls in the Lok Sabha, 112,450 votes were polled. TMC led by 39,685 votes with a vote share percentage of 55%.
Riju, you are making it about elections and votes. Riju, currently,
listen.
you have accused the Bharatiya Janata Party of concocting Sandeshkhali for political gains, and today you are making us count the numbers and the votes.
Sagarika, all I am telling you is that numbers don't lie. Rekha Patro, BJP's candidate, one of the so-called women who has suffered, has lost from her own village.
Riju,
what does that say?
Riju,
What does that say?
Charu wants to come in. Charu, your rebuttal.
Please.
So let me remind Riju that the only reason Kolkata police, West Bengal police finally found Sheikh Shahjahan was because the High Court ordered a CBI probe. The government was scared that if CBI arrests him, then the government will not be able to protect him. That is when the police went and immediately got him in. And we all have seen visuals of the way Sheikh Shahjahan walked into the police station. That's the first thing. The second thing, let me ask you this, Riju, and I ask you this.
Answer honestly. If you had nothing to hide in Sandeshkhali, why were even journalists not allowed to go there? Forget political parties. I'm not even going to talk about my own. You put journalists behind bars because you had your skeletons to bury in that region. Now that is the fact. And if you're going to quote the election results to me, Sagarika, let me remind you and our viewers of Times Now today, the elections in West Bengal are suspect at best. Abhishek Banerjee had news reports coming out of CCTV cameras being covered up and broken. So voting could go on in his favor, and that's a fact. That's a fact.
Okay, Riju,
come in?
Go ahead.
The election, two answers to the, Charuji is a very erudite speaker, but somehow today she has lost the plot. The Lok Sabha elections were conducted by the National Election Commission in presence of the central forces. Is she pointing a finger at National Election Commission and the central forces for not conducting a proper election? Point number one. Point number two, can I please finish, Charuji? I do not say anything.
I will let you continue.
Second point is, the entire national media, the entire state media was there. What are you talking about, journalists? And not allowed to enter. And the last point, this is for Times Now, not for Charuji. Sagarika, when we are discussing such a big issue on this platform, why don't we talk about this issue as well? Where a minister of the BJP government, Union Minister Shantanu Thakur, issuing passes for smuggling of beef across Bengal and India border. Is that not something?
You know, Riju, your politics will continue. You will question the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Bharatiya Janata Party will question you. But there are people in Sandeshkhali who came out in an uprising. If you do not remember, you saw those pictures. Multiple women came out on the streets with brooms demanding justice. And you yourself said one thing, Riju. You said that Sheikh Shahjahan was arrested after 50 days. And you want to pat your police's back for that? For 50 days, where was he?
Sagarika,
no, Riju, for 50 days, where was he? And how many cases are there against Sheikh Shahjahan? Let's talk about the facts. You were quoting numbers. Let's talk about the 42 cases, criminal cases that are against Sheikh Shahjahan. Why don't you talk about those cases?
I will talk about it. 42 cases, all charge sheets were filed. All charge sheets were filed by West Bengal police. Now the West Bengal police will control.
And he was still a part of your party.
Give an order of arrest. 1 second. All the charge sheets were filed in the court of law. Did that court order for his arrest? Now, should we control or dictate courts as well? Once the charge sheet is filed, it is for the court to order the police that go and arrest this man.
Can I ask you a final question that every citizen of this country is asking
today? When the Sandeshkhali video came out, that BJP leader, Gangadhar Koyal, not Trinamool Congress, BJP leaders, Gangadhar Koyal and the others were saying that we paid women money to do this caricature in front of national media. And after that, BJP went on a down.
Don't go ahead and slander the women who came out seeking justice from your chief minister, Riju. You know it is the women of West Bengal who are constantly giving a mandate to the Trinamool Congress, and that is why it is their expectation that when they face any kind of exploitation, be it their livelihood or be it their honor or their dignity, they have a right to question the chief minister because she talks about Mamata Manush. Riju, you spoke. 1 second, let Charu get back. Charu, your rebuttal.
So, very sincerely, if Riju is pointing fingers at CBI today, Is he also pointing fingers at the Honorable High Court and at the Honorable Supreme Court? Because that is going to be worrisome. Another thing is that Sandeshkhali is what we are discussing today. But we should also discuss Chopra. At the same time, we should also discuss what happened in post-poll violence after the last assembly elections in West Bengal. And Sagarika, at that point of time, the women who were the victims to this kind of activity from TMC netas and Karyakartas, they had to come all the way to the Supreme Court, knocking the door of the Supreme Court to even get West Bengal police to register an FIR. You know, West Bengal police refused to register FIRs also without the intervention of the Supreme Court.
Completely running out of time, Charu. Completely running out of time. Letting Riju have the last word. In brief, Riju, because we'll have to take a break here. But we have to remember it's the Supreme Court today which has asked you this question. Why is the state going all out to shield a private individual?
The question is, the post-poll violence case was handled by the CBI. How many arrests have the CBI made? Naroda Sharoda case handled by the CBI after 16 years. How many arrests have been made? Everything is handled by the CBI. What has happened? The net result is zero. And Sagarika, you have done a fantastic batting, better than Charu ji also. My question to you is,
it's very easy to take up battles with the media because it's the people of your state who are asking these questions. Sandeshkhali happened in West Bengal. Shahjahan Sheikh was in West Bengal. The women of Sandeshkhali came out to speak against Mr. Shahjahan Sheikh. Completely run out of time here. Both Riju Dutta and Charu Pragya, thank you so much for joining us. But the fact remains, it's the highest court of the country which today is asking one simple question, and we've not got the answer yet. Why did the state go all out to shield one individual? Thank you so much. Time for us to slip into a short commercial break. We'll be back with more news and updates.